This game is Don't Let the Apocalypse Ruin Your Weekend. It is a worker placement game for 3 to 4 players, 2 to 4 players, but 2 is weird. I'm here with Steven and Sarah. And we're going to be playing this. So the way that this game goes is that we're each going to take turns placing those little pebbles on empty spaces and doing what those spaces tell us to do. And at the end of the game, the player with the most victory points wins. We are vault companies right before the apocalypse during the Cold War, trying to get the most consumers into our vaults and make the most money so that we can retire happily to our private islands in New Guinea. Let's begin. I'm going to begin. Each of us have these little neat, handy-dandy vault boards where we will place our vault rooms later, and these will be the central focus of our corporation. Everything that is in the vault, built in its vault under it, signifies that the vault dwellers are actually in the vault and not outside the vault. Counts as victory points towards the end of the game, and also the letters from corporate, which are essentially missions. So I'm going to begin. I'm going to place my token on the Make a Sale Survivalist spot and grab a Survivalist. Oh! Just put him outside my vault like this to signify he is not locked in. He's worth 0 victory points, but he costs 0 to purchase.
You're welcome now.
It's over. Every time that a card is taken from the board, a new one is flipped to replace it. Now we've only been taking level 0s because this is the first round, but let me show that. There are higher level cards with a cost in the top left corner of the card. That cost represents the amount of vault rooms that correspond to that type of card that you need in order to purchase it, which will be explained later in more depth. So it's back to my turn, and I'm going to make a sale on a scholar and grab the level 0, place it outside my vault.
I am going to grab a social aid.
Oh, look at you being a little social.
A key component of worker games, and this one, is that once a token occupies a space on the board, it cannot be occupied by another token.
All right, let's see. Oh,
Action cards are special cards that you can play throughout the game by placing your token on the play a card space, one of the 2 play a card spaces on the board. You can then play 1 action card, which has its effect immediately, and then discard that action card. They're typically pretty powerful effects. The space that Steven just played his token on allows him to draw an extra action card. It's now my turn. Grab a radiation cleanser. Now I just grabbed a vault room, and how those work is you grab a vault room from the vault room area of the board. You put it outside your vault along with the consumers that are not locked in your vault. And when you want to make or build it onto your vault in one of these 6 spaces on your vault, you discard the appropriate number of consumers from the cost written at the bottom of the card, and then place the vault in any one of the open spaces on your vault board. Placement is important, as rooms that allow rooms that give points towards the same types of 2 rooms that give points towards survivalists would compound with each other if they're next to each other, giving you extra points for each one there. So it's your turn.
What rooms are over there?
There's a university, which is
Hey, we got the real rest there, man.
scholar and socialite, costs 2 scholars and 1 socialite. Research lab costs 2 scholars. Business school costs 2 scholars and 1 businessman. Water purifier costs 2 survivalists.
Can I have the social one, please? My vault's gonna be a party.
So, I need some people.
Yes, you need. Celebrity cards are a special type of consumer. They don't require any type of vault room to purchase. However, you need reputation to purchase them. And you get 1 reputation point, which is what is used to purchase them, for every 3 people that are locked in your vault. Which we will get to later.
Alright, I'm gonna take the next submission.
Alright.
Next time.
Steven placed his token on the take the initiative space, which means at the start of the next turn, the next phase, the next business phase, which is what we have just concluded here, instead of me passing the initiative token to Sarah, meaning she would start first the next phase, Steven gets it, meaning he starts first next phase.
Sorry, that's how the very money.
However, I still technically have it
Oh,
until the next business phase.
okay.
It now proceeds into the vault phase, where we can manage our vaults how we see fit. I'm going to start. However, this is the first round of the game. Can't really do anything. Typically, you can send consumers inside your vault if you choose to. If you have any out there that just aren't doing anything. They can usually be used for something, so that's not advised all the time, but they can also be lost if they're out there too long due to the actions of other players. So if you wanted to lock a consumer in your vault, you take it from outside your vault and place it below. And then once it is down there, it cannot be used for anything. It cannot be used to purchase or to build vault rooms or complete letters from corporate. It is unusable except for victory points. Players can also complete the letter from corporate, which means that. Would you mind, Steve? Yes. There's a cost of consumers on each card. Yes, and if the player has to have that many consumers outside of their vault, and then they would lock all applicable ones in their vault, and then grab the reward for the card and place the card off to the side. The number in the bottom left corner of the card corresponds to the victory points they will receive upon completion. There is a reward text box. Usually it is drawing from these decks. You do not take the top card. You lift it up and draw the card underneath. When you complete a letter, the consumers you use are locked in your vault immediately, unable to be used for anything else. Level 0 consumers are placed back on the deck because they do not give any victory points, and there are only 10 of them in each deck. Which is different from vault rooms. When you build a vault room, they are discarded. Level 0 consumers are sent back to their decks, and anything above that is put in a discard pile. Building vault rooms is the third thing you can do during the vault phase, which means you just pay the cost on the card and place it in your vault. And I can't do anything. None of us can, I don't think. Sarah? Steve, no. Steve.
I can do a little dance.
So then it passes on to the next phase. And to signify that, everyone takes their pieces off the board, places them somewhere near them. The round tracker up here moves down by 1. Most games are played with 9 rounds. And Typically, the initiative token passes to the left, but Steven has taken it, so he will have it at the start of this round. And it's the beginning of the round.
Okay.
No, it is the vault phase now.
Oh.
And you can begin if you can do anything. Can you?
Okay. Yeah. Let's go with it. So, cross two businessmen. Right there.
And then Steven has built a vault room.
Let's go
As the level 0 businessmen are returned to the deck, and he places the vault room on an empty space on his vault board. He can now purchase level 1 businessman if he so pleases. Sarah has completed a letter from corporate by turning in or locking in her vaults, the amount of consumers equal to the cost on the card. But like I said earlier, level 0 consumers do not get locked in your vaults, they just get returned to the deck. And then she gets to receive the benefits. She'll keep this card by her because it is worth the victory points listed on the card. But now she gets to draw any combination of 2 cards from the decks.
And I have to draw from under the top one, right?
Yes. She will lift up the top card and draw the card underneath that. Any 2. And they are immediately locked in the vault when you acquire a card this way. They cannot be used to complete another letter or build a vault room. You may take one, in a case where it says any combination of 2 or 3. That means that you can take 2 from one deck or 1 from however many decks you know. 2 from one deck or 1 from 2 decks in this case. Initiative always overwrites. So there's a card in the deck that lets you take the initiative as well. If I were to play that, I would get the initiative afterwards. Doesn't matter what order it goes in. Whoever the last person to take the initiative is gets the initiative token. So it's now time to tally up the points. First, count out all the numbers, the victory points that you have, just by themselves.
1.
8.
Well, these count too.
Okay.
Vault rooms.
Oh, yeah.
16.
Just thing,
These 2?
Yeah, and the ones on any letters completed.
4.
15 there.
Okay.
Damn, dude.
That's what's up.
Came out of nowhere. And now we do compounding though. You didn't place yours right, so you don't get any.
Yeah, that's what I was. Oh, yeah, compounding.
But Sarah and I each compounded once, which means we'll get an extra 4 points. Compounding works by vault rooms that appeal to the same type of consumer. If they are placed next to each other on the vault board,
Oh, God.
they next to each other being left and right of each other, not on top of each other, for a maximum of 3 in a row. You get for every extra one added to the 3 in a row, you get the previous ones, their score added again. So with 2 vault rooms for survivalists, which is what I have, instead of getting 8 points, I get 12 points because the previous one is added again. If I had 3, it would be 24 points because I get the 12 points from these 2, another 4 added for the 3rd card, and then these 2 added again for another 8 points, bring it up to 24. And you get an extra 4 as well, Sarah. What's your total?
23.
I have 19. Wait. Yes.
17. No, bad thing is too. All the same. I just didn't place them the right way because I forgot about you.
You could have won this game.
I want to.
So- Sarah wins.
Yay.
She's the most successful bought company.
Metal Gear!
Bro, what the hell are you doing?
Liquid!
Question.
What's the question?
Why New Guinea?
It's nice. It's not actually. There's a lot of cannibalism in the beginning. But they're gonna be dead
That
anyway.
sounds nice to me.
Yeah, that's the thing. I just started playing in New Guinea.
They're
He
gonna-
lost his leg. I call him Bob.
They're gonna die anyway. So, just under an island somewhere was the idea. I mean, you could New Zealand if you want. I wouldn't go to Madagascar. I feel like those animals would get really irradiated
That's
and be
frustrating.
giant and really fucking mutated and scary.
Oh my god.
Giant mutated giraffes. Are horrifying.
Giant mutated King Julian. Or George.
It's beautiful.
That's your great start.
Back on track.
That's his fault.
So, I'm going to
Uh,
party up in here.
it is university, so okay. I was going to school.
There's a classroom in Virginia, I think. I don't remember.
Steven.
Good.
It's your turn.
Oh, yes it is. Yes it is. I was just mixing up my radio over here and drinking, smoking a cigar, and drinking bourbon. All right.
I have an interesting idea of what the Cold War was like.
You
Not
wanna
entirely
know-
inaccurate.
If you want a more accurate portrayal, I have a coat over there. And
It's
you can
purple.
use that.
Oh, yeah. You could be a pimp.
I was just
Nah.
because it's cold.
Oh. God damn it, Sarah.
John Cena.